page is their comparison page. You can find that very simply. Just go take a look. They compare their own line of legacy premium foods with the other leaders. eFoods Direct, Wise Foods, Food Insurance, etc., etc. There are 5 others compared. And when you compare them, there really is no comparison. The quality is the highest. We've talked about the absolute dedication and devotion of the owners of BuyEmergencyFoods.com and Legacy Premium Foods to bring you the product that you can depend upon that will be very soon GMO-free, the only one in the industry, freeze-dried, 25-year shelf life. They even offer you a gluten-free option for those who have a gluten intolerance, which is really most people. You can get it. You don't have to have gluten in your emergency foods when you get them from BuyEmergencyFoods.com. Now, did you know, Charlie, that 95% of the wheat, we have a huge wheat industry here. Do you know where all the wheat gluten is made?
Nowhere.
China. It's made in China. And God only knows what they put into it and send it back here, and then we put it in our food. They make it in China.
Well, we all remember the story. Was it a year ago? They were trying to figure out how to create synthetic rice because they're facing their own economic implosion, and they're facing 1.3 billion starving citizens. So, I absolutely look. I've been in the building industry before I got into alternative media. I was in the building industry for 20 years. I had to answer affidavits for Chinese-made drywall that was, Chinese-made drywall rotting copper pipes. I mean, you don't want to eat anything, in my opinion anyway, that's traveling 13,000 miles on a container to get here because it was a penny per bushel less expensive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Look, and I was joking around with the producer, Brett. I said, it's so weird being on with Jeff, this great radio host that I've listened to for so long. But now, after doing this for 2 years, I find myself in a weird position where you got 2 hosts and both of us want to talk. It's quite unique.
No, well, it's really great to have people on this network that are of like mind, and we all get it. We understand that the truth out there is so corrupted now. I use the word reality. I try to bring people reality and let them make their own decisions. All right, tell us a little bit more about the food line itself, if you can.
Yeah, you bet. But what I'd like to do first, if you don't mind, is you talk about reality. I'd like to paint a little picture with some reality that came out today.
Good.
To show the necessity for being prepared. And you know what? I'm a big proponent of precious metals. I think if you have additional wealth and you want to protect it, then you should have a percentage of your wealth in precious metals because it's the time-tested store of value.
But you can't eat it.
You can't eat it. And if you're buying silver and you do not have, calories stocked away for you and your loved ones, and pick your time frame. Some people are different. I know some that have 2 years worth of water and food in storage. Me and my son, I have enough calories in my domicile and in my backup place where I'm going to where I could sustain myself and my child for no less than 3 months because, I do not want to be going to try to find food at a grocery store when diesel is $9 a gallon and the truckers decide to go on strike and the 3-day turnover and inventory in your local grocery store that has food in it that had to travel 1,500 miles to get there, when the shelves are empty. I don't want to be involved in that in any way. In fact, my sister, who's also my webmaster, she lives in Alabama, and she had food storage, fortunately, last year when all those tornadoes came through because where she's at in Bluntsville, Alabama, I'm not making that name up, that's really where she's at, Bluntsville, Alabama, they lost power for 10 days. Now, to most people that doesn't sound like too bad of a deal, but I'll tell you what, I remember going into Iraq, and I think I told you the story 2 years ago, and seeing what happens to an area when they lose civilization.
Oh, yeah.
People go crazy, Jeff. They go crazy.
Well,
we bombed for...
Civilization defined as infrastructure.
Infrastructure.
Water, sewer, transport, you name it. When that's gone, civilization is gone.
Right, and we rolled across the berms after 40 days of air war, and we rolled into a town, and I remember having an MRE, which is about the least nutritious thing you could possibly eat, in my opinion. And we threw some down to some kids, and I watched old men pummel little kids because they were thrown into the Stone Age for a short period of time. 40 days isn't a long period of time. You could conceivably survive without eating for that amount of time, but it turns people. We're all about 6,000 calories away from being a Neanderthal. The information that came out today with the jobs number paints the perfect illustration of where we're at and where we're headed. We've spent untold trillions. We know of, $17, $24 trillion that have been pledged to bail out this economy. When the truth is told, it's probably north of $100 trillion, and with the notional values of derivatives closer to $1 quadrillion of fraudulent failure waiting to go off like a bomb on this planet. Yep. We've spent all this money, and we still get a number of 368,000 people being turned into non-persons, taken out of the labor force, take us from 8.3 to 8.1%, the lowest participation rate in 30-plus years, and the lowest participation rate for men ever since they've been keeping records on this kind of thing. We are heading for exactly what you see going on inside of the worst parts of Europe, inside of the worst parts of the Middle East and North Africa. And if we're not prepared and we're looking to anyone, local, state, or federal government to take care of us, guess what? They're not stocking up on buy emergency foods like you should be. They're stocking up on 40 caliber shredder ammunition because they know what's coming.
They do. Social Security is even buying ammunition. All these agencies are buying ammunition. It's obvious what they're planning. They have things in store for us. They know where it's going because it's being engineered to go that way, and it's going to go there. So you guys have got to get ready. And you've got to have food, gold and silver, wonderful, but food first, water first, and then look at the precious metals.
That's right. And at buyemergencyfoods.com, their legacy premium brand, it averages out, I did the math on it, per serving, about $1.44 a serving.
That's it?
That's it. $260 for a 180 serving supply, bucket of 180 serving.
$1.44, you can't go into a fast food place and get out the door for less than that.
No. So you get $260, 180 serving. You get yourself, as you mentioned at the top of the program, a water filter, and you at least have yourself secure for 3 months. You can sustain your life without leaving your bug-in location, bug-out location. That is your number one investment right there.
What's the cost again, Charlie?
It was about $1.44 a serving is what I penciled it out to.
That's amazing. It really, when you think about it.
And,
all right.
And when we come back, I do have a special that Chris authorized me to talk about, and I will on the backside of the break.
Oh, good. All right. Excellent. Talking to Charlie, and the place again to go, and we urge you all to go there. Take a look around. You don't have to buy right now, but familiarize yourself with this company. It is the best in the industry. Buyemergencyfoods.com. The truth is, we're not just facing rumors of a global food crisis. One is actually starting to unfold right in front of our eyes. So get prepared now. Buyemergencyfoods.com, the best value, the highest quality, and soon to be the only company offering 100% GMO-free food. And remember their format? Individual meals in nitrogen-flushed Mylar pouches. They are delicious, they are quick, they are easy, they'll last for 25 years. Buy now, because in a year, you're going to have to pay more. I don't care who you are. You could save 25 to 30% by buying now in the next couple of months. All right? Think about that. Charlie McGrath is like a racehorse. Once he gets going, boy, I just stand back and just enjoy the heck out of his wisdom and knowledge. So, Charlie, go ahead.
Thanks, Jeff. And you talk about, the best quality in the business. And I took a call from Chris today, and we talked about production because they're exploding as far as their business. I mean, they're doing everything right. They're looking for the best ingredients. They're looking for real input from people who care, not just trying to make a dollar. they're looking for that input, and then more importantly, they're listening to it and they're running with it. And it's actually great news for the company because Phil had to call Chris and say, "Look, man, we're cranking out as fast as possible. We're going to stick to our motto, which is if you have an order, it will ship within 3 days." But it's their business is exploding while others in the industry is starting to curtail. And it's 100% because they're doing everything. They're doing everything right. And you mentioned, the food crisis, the food shortage, the dilemma, and that's all 100% true. You do not have to be Nostradamus, or you don't have to wear a tinfoil hat or anything else. All you need to do is look around the world. Think of the last 48 months that we've endured in this country. Mm-hmm. Think of the crop failures. Think of when the Department of Agriculture comes out and talks about 50% of the GMO corn crop is in poor to very poor condition, and realize that everything in your home just about has this GMO product in it. It does not take any arithmetic at all to figure this out. Things are going to start to skyrocket. Couple the reality of climatic change around the country with the reality of financial destitution, and you have a situation where if you mentioned this earlier, if you invest in this food, this 25-year storable food now, you said 20 or 30%. I think you really could see a 50 to 100% return on your investment in the not too distant future. Yeah.
You could actually invest in it now and resell it in a year and probably make plenty. Although I don't recommend people do that unless they've got a lot of money to play with. We want this food to go to people who need it. Remember, more than 50 million Americans could not afford to buy food at some point in 2011. Think about
Jeff,
that.
we have 47 million Americans on food stamps. Not only that, we have 165 million Americans who rely on the government for a check of some form or another. Maybe not 100% of their income, but 160, that's over 50% of the population. Yesterday, Peter Orzog of Citigroup that should be a public utility, but I won't go down that right now. Peter Orzog of Citigroup comes out and said the Congress is going to take us off the fiscal cliff. For those people that don't know what the fiscal cliff is, this deal Congress made on our behalf about a year ago saying, we'll raise the debt ceiling to $16 trillion. Guess what? We're there before we were supposed to be. But if we didn't have a comprehensive budget cut and budget plan in force, we would go off the fiscal cliff, which is two things: an increase in your taxes and a cut in the benefits. This sparked the shock in the markets, along with the jobs report number that came out today, sparked Ben Bernanke to talk about more quantitative easing. It's a lose-lose situation. They do nothing. We go off this cliff. The checks stop rolling in. People are hungry and can't afford it. Ben Bernanke polishes his golden calf and turns on the digital printing presses. You have hyperinflation to avoid deflation, and wages are already falling in this country. The standard of living is falling in this country. Hyperinflation on the necessity items is the inevitable if Bernanke promises and follows through with his promise to turn on the printing presses. Or, again, we go off the cliff. And then it's, Katie bar the door. We look like Egypt, a la the great Arab Spring.
Sure. Well, you look around Europe, and Greeks are now up in the Scandinavian countries cleaning bathrooms to try to make some money to survive. Pretty amazing.
Or killing themselves in front of Parliament.
Oh, yeah.
But let me tell you about this special real quick, because when Ben Bernanke was in Jackson Hole, I called Chris and I said, we ought to do a QE3 special, because he's going to come out and he's going to hint around it, and the markets are going to love it. Sure enough, that's exactly what he did. Yep. So he came up with a QE3 special, which is you buy $300 worth of product at buymemergencyfoods.com. That $300 is roughly the price of the 180-day supply bucket, 180. Yeah, excuse me, I'm saying this wrong. 180 serving bucket. It's $260. Right. You buy $300 worth of food from buymemergencyfoods.com, and they will give you a water bottle filtration system, which is what we've been talking about all program. You get your food, get a way to filter water, and at least that gives you that little bit of security in the definitely troubling times that are coming. $300, You get the free water bottle filtration kit. The only thing you have to do is when you go to byemergencyfoods.com, in the promo code, enter in QE3. Now, here's the catch. He's only letting me do it with 10. They're going to shut it off at 10. So the first 10 people that go there, buy their supplies, enter in QE3, will get the free water bottle filtration system. And get in there and do it because they won't last long.
Oh, nice. All right. Byemergencyfoods.com. And tell them where to go again exactly on the page.
Yep, byemergencyfoods.com. You can go to their top items, and the first one on there is the 180 serving bucket. That is $260. Mm-hmm. You buy a couple of them, and which would be money well spent, guaranteeing that you're going to see a return on your investment of who knows what kind of percentage. Could be 100%.
Right.
If we turn on the printing presses. Put in QE3 in the promo code, and you'll get a free water bottle filtration system with that order. The first
Very nice. Well, I see they're down at the bottom of the page. You can see what they look like. A water filtration bottle. It's right there.
Yeah,
right.
And you put in the water, and as you squirt it out, it goes through the filter system it has there, and it gives you potable water. So,
now, for me, and I don't know about you, but I imagine you're the same way. I don't eat yellow corn. I try to stay away from commercial corn products, and I know there are many derivatives from corn that are put in all kinds of foodstuffs, but I eat a very strict diet. I'm vegan, and when these folks said that they were going 100% GMO-free, I cheered. I was so happy. This is so conscientious. It is so caring. It's the way business ought to be done. They really demonstrated to me, again, how much they care about the people they're serving. And that's the American citizen. GMO-free food. You can't do better than that. That stuff is literally poison.
Yeah, and isn't that weird? I mean, here we have a standalone company, byemergencyfoods.com, a standalone company that is really, when we break it down to what they're really doing, is they're going back about 100 years into how they're preparing food.
Well said.
You're not getting all the garbage.
No.
But unfortunately, there's no one else doing it because you are so limited on where you can source your material.
Oh, it's hard to source. Oh, they're working hard. I know how hard they're working. That's not easy to do. And you can also remember get gluten-free entrees in that 180 serving bucket. These are stackable plastic containers, which you'll see when you go to the site. They don't take a lot of room up. Goodness, you can put enough food in a van or just an average-sized pickup truck with a camper shell on it for a whole family. Put the family in there. If you've got to go to your bug-out place, you're there. You can load up in an hour and be gone. That's right.
And again, about 9 ounces of silver, it gets you the $300 deal. And guys, I'm a proponent of silver and gold, but I'm even the silver and gold guys I have on, Gabe Elton, I bring him on about once a month. He would be the first to tell you, if you don't have water, if you don't have food, if you don't have the means to protect yourself and your family, then you're missing the boat, and you truly are.
Well, and you've got kids. Look at your kids. You're taking care of your son, and I know a lot of people listening have taken care of their families. And if you're older folks and you've got children who have children, help them out. Buy them some food. Write them a check for $600, $800, $1,000 if you've got it. A lot of older people over 50, 60, they do have some money put away. What a good thing. What a wonderful thing to do to your children and your grandchildren's lives is to help ensure them with nutrition, quality nutrition that'll keep them alive and healthy in a crisis. And there will be more crises, no question.
No doubt about it. We govern the planet by crises, and they're going to keep coming. But a great point. You can buy your grandkid, you can buy him the latest iPhone, or you can do something really good for him, and for that same amount of money, give him about 3 months worth of food that's going to last until, hopefully, they go through school and get into college. That food it will always be there for them. What a great idea that is, Jeff.
Yeah, and the food is, again, look at the pictures of it. It is delicious.
It's delicious. I didn't say that yet. I've tried the chicken a la king. I've tried the chili, and they're absolutely delicious.
Amen. Charlie, thanks for being here. Keep up the wonderful work. You're really, I'm very proud of you.
Well, I'm very indebted to you for all you've done for me and the program. Thank you, Jeff.
All right. Be well. Take care. Okay.